Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Communities Live here on Sheffield Live 93.2 FM. And we have Panini expert here, Greg Lansdowne. Good afternoon.
Hello, Chris. Thanks a lot for having me on.
So thank you for joining me today. So I've got to ask you this before we get into it. What made you interested in collecting Panini stickers?
Well, I was lucky that I had an older brother who was also into his football, and he collected as a younger child, and he decided that it's as a rite of passage he should get me into it. So that was 1979 with Panini's Football 79, and I loved it so much that I've pretty much been collecting ever since. And it never loses its fascination for me.
And I've been reading this, and it's quite incredible actually that it is one of the top 10 in playground games for both parents and children.
Yeah, this is the research carried out by Marks and Spencers for the launch of today's Panini albums, and it's as you say, number seven in the 80s, number seven now. You look at some of the other activities, and they've completely gone out of fashion, or some of the ones from today children in the 80s never heard of. But so it just shows that even in this technology driven age, here we are still talking about panini stickers. And I would never have believed when I collected my first album, Panini Football 79, that I'd be on radio stations talking about how great it is.
I mean, it's incredible. Like you say, with today's technology, with video games and iPads, and to say that Panini stickers is still quite popular, it's incredible.
It is, and I think one of the things that makes it stand out from other pastimes is that you could be part of a community when you're collecting, and it's not just the collecting, it's the swapping and being part of that group. And a lot of games can just be solitary pastimes, or if you are doing them, you're doing them with someone potentially hundreds of miles away on a computer game. But when it comes to collecting, yes, you can do it online, especially if you're older, where you have no school playground. But if you're younger, you can do it at school at lunchtime and breaks, and then go home, and hopefully your parents might have brought you another packet or two, and then you see what you get, and then the next day you come in with a fresh number of swaps. And as far as my school time was concerned, playing football and collecting panini stickers and swapping during the breaks and lunchtime was what made it for me far more than the lessons.
I remember when I was younger, but I know it's a completely different thing. It's like when the Pokemon trading cards came out, they were very popular at the day, and people always wanted to swap shinies for another shiny. And does that still happen now?
Yeah, well, in the Marks and Spencers album, there are two glitter stickers and 12 special shiny stickers, as part of the 50 collection. And I'm sure those ones, when you open a packet and you see a shiny, you always say, "Oh, wow, this is something special." And the way they're produced is fantastic as well. The design and the quality that comes into them. When you've got doubles, you don't necessarily want to put them on your as part of your swaps. You want to maybe put them in on your school book or your bedpost, and sometimes they can stay there for years.
And I mean, 1 in 10 parents still collect football stickers during major tournaments. That's got to be that's phenomenal as well.
Oh, it is, yeah, that's just the 1 in 10 who admit to it. So there's obviously a lot more who claim that they're just collecting with their children, but in reality, they're more into it than their children. And I'm sure with this M&S album today, you're going to get a lot of people shopping in stores, but wanting to get over the £20 mark so they can get their packet of stickers.
And I mean, a lot of people also are now get their first experience of entrepreneurialism. So it's more. So it's like the try. Are they taking it more down, more like a business way now? Do you feel?
Nothing has changed in that respect. What they're getting at is that when you have your swaps and you do your negotiations, obviously there are different ways that you can try to get more stickers out of the person you're swapping with. So the average that was discovered was that for every shiny you can get 3 normal stickers. But if you drive a hard bargain and you know that somebody wants a sticker in particular, you could potentially get 10 stickers or 20 stickers for one sticker. And that is obviously we end up negotiating for many things over the years, but that is where people can say that they started to drive a hard bargain with people.
What do you feel is the most rarest sticker that you've collected so far?
Well, unfortunately, I don't have the rarest sticker that exists, which is Diego Maradona's first Panini sticker. If I had that, then I'd be quids in. In terms of what I have, I would say I've got Mike Tyson's. We're not going into football now. This is a multi-sports album, and I got one of his first stickers. We call it rookies from the 80s, and that is worth. If you were to go on websites and look at the value for that, that's actually worth quite a lot of money because there weren't many boxing stickers produced, and obviously he's one of the all-time greats. But at the time, you don't realize what's worth something. It's only 20, 30, 40 years down the line that you discover that, oh, actually, this was his first sticker, so this is worth a lot of money now. And even 10 years ago, the value of stickers was a lot smaller than what it is now. Everything seems to have exploded, and a lot of it was caused by the pandemic because people had time on their hands and they were going into their lofts and uncovering all these cards and stickers that they'd forgotten they'd had, and so that gave people time to sort through and realize what gems they potentially had.
I mean, it's quite shocking, really. I mean, like you say, because when you don't look at it when you first buy it, you don't realize how valuable they are until, like you say, later in life. And then, I mean, I always remember this. I mean, I was watching a program that one of the trading cards with Pokemon, and if I remember right, I think it was a shiny Charizard, and that was going for almost £100,000. I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah, as I say, when I wrote my first book about Panini stickers nearly 10 years ago, it was very popular, but just in terms of trying to finish an album. 10 years down the line, there's a new strand which has come from America because it's been like this in America for 30, 40, 50 years in terms of they were less worried about finishing a set. They were more concerned by getting rare cards or stickers, as the case may be, and that is now the case for a lot of people who are into the hobby. They don't feel the need to complete that. That's more for the kids. That's their focus. But in terms of a lot of adults, they want to get a sticker that could potentially be worth hundreds of £1,000s. Lionel Messi's one of one sticker from the last World Cup sold for over $100,000. So it's like a Willy Wonka's golden ticket chase. We have that extra strand these days in collecting.
And I mean, my final question for you, because we are quickly running out of time, is where do you see Panini stickers going in the near future?
Well, just with today's Marks and Spencer's launch, for example, they're going down a different route. This album is slightly different to where we go with the standard tournament or Premier League albums because you've got tips from players about how to play the game and how to eat well. So there's a greater element of education to this album, and as I always say, there always is an educational way to look at the albums because it helps with your maths and your geography and your negotiating, and it never ends. So I think the magic of Panini stickers is that 60 years down the line, the quintessential nature of collecting remains the same, but they're always adding on extra strands to it. So you can still collect in the pure way, but you can also look at it in different ways as well. And the amount of card shows that you see up and down the United Kingdom these days is incredible. And I think there's only room for growth as the years go on.
Greg, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks very much.